what's up everyone, and welcome back to another episode of QTE News right here on Stay and Play, your non-toxic source for gaming news unless the news itself is toxic. Today we're talking about a legendary MMO studio quietly put up for sale, Capcom showing off their heavy hitters next week, Kojima's cinematic brain getting its own animated feature, and Warner Brothers deciding less devs and more wizards. Let's break it all down. Well, before we jump into it though, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what I'm dishing, please don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe, and ring the notification bell for all my latest episodes. It helps a ton and I really appreciate all the support. All right, let's jump into our first news topic. CCP Games, best known for the ever complicated EVE Online or EVE Online, is reportedly on the market. Pearl Abyss, the Korean publisher behind Black Desert Online, acquired CCP in 2018 for around $425 million. Whew. Hoping to expand into the Western MMO space, fast forward to today, and it looks like the marriage didn't quite go as planned. For those who don't know, EVE is basically the stock market in space, where players conduct corporate espionage, multi-billion ISK scams, and PvP battles that cost more than actual cars. Despite its niche appeal, it's been incredibly resilient, but maybe not profitable enough for Pearl Abyss's more action-forward vision. Rumor has it potential buyers could include companies like Tencent or NetEase, you know, folks who could turn Interstellar Trade into a battle pass. Or maybe a surprise dark horse like Paradox Interactive steps in and makes the galaxy turn-based. Who knows, only time will tell. So let's see how that goes. Alright, moving on to our next segment. Capcom has just announced the 40-minute Spotlight livestream for June 26th. And it's stacked. We're getting updates on Resident Evil Requiem, that's RE9 for those counting, plus more on Pragmata, Monster Hunter Wilds, and ongoing updates for Street Fighter 6. RE9 is rumored to lean even harder into survival horror, possibly wrapping up the Winters family arc. Pragmata, meanwhile, is Capcom's mysterious sci-fi project that's been delayed more than a Square Enix NFT pitch. We might finally see more gameplay on this. And then there's Monster Hunter Wilds, which launched to strong reviews earlier this year. We're likely to hear about seasonal events or new Elder Dragons ready to ruin your day. And for Street Fighter 6, Capcom's probably teasing balance patches and EVO hype, probably dropping saga-shaped breadcrumbs. So basically, June 26th is going to be Capcom's version of Comic-Con with more claws and less capes. Stay tuned. Alright, let's move on to our next news segment. Kojima Productions just revealed they're developing an original animated Death Stranding movie. But don't expect a retelling of the game. This is a brand new story set in the same bleak, beautiful, borderline confusing universe, and it's being written by Aaron Guzikowski. I hope I pronounced that correctly. The screenwriter behind Prisoners and Raised by Wolves. Shout out to Raised by Wolves, one of my favorite series. I hope and I pray it gets renewed for another season, even though it looks very unlikely. But anyway, according to Line Mileage, the studio co-producing the film, the project will explore new characters and themes with the same atmospheric existential tone Kojima fans know and probably tolerate. Guzikowski described it as being in the same emotional lane as Blade Runner or Ghost in the Shell, but you know, with more ghosts and packages. Yeah, definitely more ghosts and packages. Timing-wise, it's a smart play. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach drops June 26, so this film could serve as a soft launch for new fans or a lore dump for those still confused about what a bridge baby actually does. I'm here for it, as long as I don't need to carry a letter across a canyon in the middle of a monologue. Yeah. All those who know what we're talking about, raise your hands. Anyway, moving on to the last segment for today. Warner Bros. Games is doing what major publishers do best, restructuring. They've shuttered several studios, including the one responsible for the now cancelled Wonder Woman game and the Shadow of Mordor games, Monolith Studios. Instead, the company is doubling down on its four biggest IPs, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Mortal Kombat, or more precisely, and the DC Universe. According to internal sources, this move is meant to streamline content pipelines and align development with top-tier franchises. Translation: fewer risks, more wands. The upside is more polish on major titles, The downside, less room for mid-budget surprises or experimental games that don't come with a pre-built fan base. But hey, at least we always have Hogwarts, and Gotham, and I guess Westeros, and Outworld, forever and ever. All right, and that's it for QTE today. CCP might be drifting towards new ownership. Capcom's gearing up to bring the heat. Kojima's going full anime philosopher, and Warner Brothers just Mary Kondoed its dev lineup. So, ladies and gentlemen, you tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Who do you think should buy Eve or CCP more specifically? What's your Capcom highlight on the 26th? Come back to this video on this 26th and leave your comments there. Are you down for Death Stranding animation film? Sounds like it's going to be awesome. And which Warner Brothers franchise should get a creative reboot? Leave your comments in the comment section below. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you love what I am dishing, once again, please don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe, and ring the notification bell for all my latest videos. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay critical, and stay in the QTE. I'm out.